What's going on, everybody? Hopefully you're having a good day. Welcome back to another video. Before I start, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss another drawing video. So today's video, I'm going to be drawing a kind of city landscape kind of drawing. My brother drew something very similar to this, and it inspired me to make my own. So I kind of looked up a picture online to reference, and now I'm drawing it. So I'm going to show you guys my process and how I drew it. So right now I'm starting off with the sketch. There's a lot of buildings in the city scene, as you already know that. So I am using a ruler to get the straight lines done and making sure that it is the right proportions. It's okay to be drawing over the lines, since when you outline it in a Fineliner or a Sharpie or whatever you have that you want to outline with, you can erase the lines anyway and draw over the ones that you want. So I'm just about finished with the sketch, and this bottom part is a rocky area. It doesn't look so good in the sketch, but promise me it will look better in the end. I'm going over the drawing with a Fineliner so I can get those nice lines. Also using a ruler so it doesn't look shaky. I would recommend that. So I'm almost done going over all the buildings with the Fineliner, and now I'm working on the rocky area in the bottom. Above the rocks is like a little water area, so that's going to be blank, and I'm going to use the alcohol markers to kind of create a little wave-like feel on the shore. So I actually put 3 pieces of paper on the back of the page so that it wouldn't bleed through, because there's going to be a lot of coloring, especially in the background with the sky and stuff. So there's going to be a lot of bleeding through to get that right color. So now this is the satisfying part, coloring it in. The first colors I went with was kind of purple and pinkish, and like, you know, some of those the darker colors, really. This was a really fun part, the blending. I tried to get the right amount of color so it would actually blend and it would actually look like it was blending instead of just layers of color. So I kind of went over it with like the same color, sometimes a lighter color or the one that I'm using. And this time I just went over with like a light pink, the whole thing, so you still get that pinkish hue. Now I'm moving on to this building, which is pretty much the same thing. Like I said, I'm doing all the purples first. So I tried to get like the shadows on the sides to make it look like it's 3D. As I was going over this with the alcohol markers, I realized that I shouldn't have done a Fineliner over the lines in the middle. I just wanted it there for reference, so I could have just kept the eraser marks for the pencil, but I mean, it doesn't really show up in the final project anyway, so it doesn't really matter. As you guys can tell, lately I've really been getting into lo-fi music. I've been using it as I was drawing. Even in the background as I was drawing this, I was listening to lo-fi because listening to music while drawing just gets me in the mood. You know, it just makes me happy. It makes me wanna draw more. You know, it's kind of like relaxing. It makes me focus. It's pretty cool. So if you guys haven't checked that out yet, I would definitely listen to some lo-fi hip hop, relax. There's this live stream that has been going on since February, just nonstop repeating lo-fi, relaxing hip hop beats, and my brother and I listen to it every time we draw. They also have a Spotify playlist, so I can put that in the description if you guys would want to listen to that. It's really cool. So now I'm working on the blues, as you can tell, and this was really fun because I love the pink and blue colors. As you can see, that's my profile picture colors, and so this was really fun, blending the purples and the blues and the pinks together to make that cool fading. And I felt pretty proud of my blending job. So now I'm going over in the middle, doing the oranges and stuff, making sure I didn't forget anything, finishing up some of the buildings with the pinks and the purples. I suggest when you're blending, I would start with the darkest colors on the bottom. As well, that was for this one. I'm not sure if it applies to every single one. But then when you go to the lighter colors, color over with that same light color in between the two previous colors, and it'll kind of make like a little blend, no matter what marker you have, unless it's like blank Crayola, which you can still do some blending, but it will just look like layering. So here's when I picked up the next day to open my sketchbook. So now this is the big part. I've finished coloring in all the buildings, and now I am working on the sky part. I wanted to do kind of like dark to light, and so I used the chisel tip for this one, the wider one, since the fine tip would probably destroy it if I colored that whole entire part. So I tried to go dark to light and then color in with like a really light blue in the middle to get that blending like I had mentioned before. And now I'm working on the rocky shore. So I'm trying to get the darker colors as kind of like shadowy, and then the lighter colors on the outside so it kind of looks 3D. I mean, I could have done a better job with this, but still in the end, when it all came together, I was still pretty proud of it. So overall, I'm really happy with this piece. This was so much fun working. I love the pinks and I love the blues. Hope this video was somewhat helpful to you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.